Previously, on Hell Chaser, there was this annoying human that cheated at everything. He cheated through my ice bridge. Well, it wasn't even a bridge, he turned it into a bridge. It was a nice, cozy lake that led into a pond of freezing water filled with ice. Who wouldn't want that? But no, he decided to cheat his entire way across by releasing the demons I captured and putting in the time of freezing them in ice. Then he had the nerves to kill all my minions that I made with my two bare hands, improving them, which he deemed inhumane. I just stitched some of them together to make them more effective. That's all. Then he had the nerve to kill one of my favorite bodies, steal both my key and my file, which is just frustrating in the end. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna kill him and make him into something truly terrifying. So I took my most powerful body that I left laying dormant on the bottom of the river. Then you know what he did in response? He just freed even more demons. And they all just teamed up on me. Oh, cheater, he couldn't beat me by himself, so he just grabbed a bunch of random people. Then, he dragged me to hell. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but can you believe the disrespect? Anyways, don't worry, I'll claw my way out of here eventually. It'll take me a bit. But then I'll come back for him, and I'll truly make something marvelous. Anyways, back to Earth. I just call it testing grounds.
So, basically, if you watched last time, a bunch of demons asked me to go get some weapons for them. They left it at Greed's place. Not Greed, it was Envy. You always get those two confused, Greed and Envy. I don't know why. I mean, Greed did have some of their weapons. They bought them off of them. But that's not the point. I have to go get the demons' weapons back, because, you know what? They're actually pretty helpful and chill dudes. They're helpful, and they've certainly got me through some things. It was a interesting experience with Envy. Anyways, heading back over, nothing really tried to attack me. I was like, at this point, they started calling me the Sin Killer, because I killed, like, most of the sins. So, only really, like, Hell Knights, like, tried to stop me. Even then, they couldn't really do much against me. They started bringing Hell Knights to the surface, they've been calling it, to guard areas, certain areas, to keep me from getting through. But all I really did was just kind of slow me down and give me more blood to drink. Delicious blood. I sound like a vampire. Anyways, as I get to Greed's place, I go across the very well-carved ice bridge. I have to mention that. It was a very nice bridge. They've been working on it. It looks perfect. Anyways, I enter in Greed's place, and I notice a new room I haven't been in. It led down to, like, a dungeon. And there was just, like, a bunch of demons trapped in cages, some more of those weird stitched things, which were acting normal all of a sudden. It was like when, like, there was something, like, controlling them earlier. But now that Envy's gone, their sanity's back to normal. I mean, mostly anyways, they still have a lot of trauma. So I let them all out, they thanked me, and they just ran away. They didn't want anything to do with this, which, you know what, I don't blame them. It's understandable. I find their weapons, and I see this weird vessel. It was like, it was made of human, but they replaced the organs with, like, demon organs. This is probably the vessel he used to, like, experiment. He didn't, like, just have someone else, like, do it. He did it himself with his own bare hands. And then some surgical tools, like, found on the window. Not on the window, on the side of it. So I decided to light the body ablaze, because I would rather not risk him coming back. God, that guy was something else, to say the least. I dragged the weapons all the way back. A few demons helped me out, actually. A few decided to stick around. They're all pretty chill people, you know. I think we've learned something here. Never judge a book by its cover, you know. Because most demons were pretty chill. Which that, you know, that small, like, group that were in control. That was their issue, so that I'll just go deal with that. Anyways. So I get back to the place and I'm thinking, okay, so the demons have the location, but what if they try to come with me? Yeah, okay, they were too antsy to go near the remnants of Envy. They're not going to go after Pride. So I'll go over to give the demons their weapons and, you know, get the location. This is the response.
Yo, my bro, you got the things, the weaponry. This will make dealing with Pride much easier. Anyways, the place is over there. We're coming with. We'll be ready in 2 hours.
Well, hold on a minute. That wasn't part of the deal. I never said you could come with me. I'm going alone. Besides, I can't have all of you coming with me. Kaz is going to get very suspicious if an entire army of demons start following me towards the area of Pride. I have to go come up with an excuse to vanish for a bit. So it's risky.
Yo, my dude, my pal. Can I be honest with you here for a bit? You know, completely transparent.
Sure?
Since as long as any of us can remember, the Sins and the General have been our leaders. And some of those leaders were fine. Like example, Wrath. He was a chill dude. Sloth didn't really care enough. But he was some of them. Some of those Sins. And you can agree with this. Are the real monsters here. We've just had to do nothing but obey. We thought they were invincible. But you have proven us otherwise. They are killable. They can be defeated. And with your help, and our numbers, and your abilities, we stand up. We can defeat them. We can finally put an end to the tyranny.
Okay, fine. But I'm gonna need, only 5 of you can follow me, okay? I can't risk Cassiel figuring out what's going on. So, I'm gonna go talk to Kaz, and the reason I don't just try to just tell him straight up, because I feel like he might attack me. Now, Kaz hasn't gotten aggressive before. Even when I was fighting that giant axe dude earlier, he's never got, physically aggressive. But I can kind of, sense, he could easily, mess someone up. If he had, valid reasoning. So I thought, let's not provoke the angel. Just, an idea. Anyways. I go up to the Kaz and I go, hey, there's a weapon stash for a bunch of demons. If I can, give it to our demons, they'll have a significantly less hard time dying, and the invaders will have a harder time invading. It's a win-win situation.
Good, human. You're finally seeing reason. I'm preparing the troops with weapons. Can you bring some of them back to the humans so they can learn how to use them? That'll be also helpful. Anyways, I figured out it was out the rest of the ingredients for the spell. We need to slow down the rift. Thank you for all you've done. You have shown these humans hope, and you've significantly damaged the ranks of hell. And would thank you if they cared enough to pay attention.
No problem, my friend. Just, doing my part here. Couldn't have done it without you. And I just run out of the room before he has a chance to respond. It's like, I'm technically not lying. I am going after another stash of weaponry. Anyway, so 5 demons followed me. It was one of the snake things, which basically strangled people. They didn't really have a weapon. A smaller axe guy. And believe it or not, there was an actual Hell Knight with us. He didn't really say much. He was just kind of there. And the 4th demon was a skinless, and the 5th guy was just one of those chomper things. He didn't really do much. We just kept him for companionship. On our way over, the place was fortified. There were Hell Knights, more of those weird stitched things. I guess he borrowed them for envy. And they were loyal despite the whole being stitched together part. Which, I was doing most of the heavy lifting. I was the one killing most of them. They helped. Don't get me wrong here. All five of them teamed up on a Hell Knight. The Hell Knight was definitely the most helpful. He didn't say anything, but he was a man of action. Literally, he threw a car at one of them. Oh, the other Hell Knights. So first I was kind of sus of him, but I was like, this dude's a dude. This dude's cool. Let's keep him around. As we're heading up, we see his fortress, and his Pride's fortress is huge. It's gigantic, and there's one of the demons telling me about a small, an underground layer. So it's even bigger than what meets the eye. So we're all approaching, and I see strange devices. They're almost like miniguns, but they're like it looks like they'd shoot arrows at something. Like it's very strange. Demonic miniguns, we'll call them, because then there's also a speaker, and I hear a voice come out of it.
Hello there, Nate. I've been awaiting your arrival. Unfortunately, your companions cannot enter with you. I apologize for the miniguns. It's to keep out the riff-raff, if you will. You are free to enter, with weapons and all. If you're not ready, simply come back. I will wait patiently. The trial shall begin once you enter.
It's like, okay. I'll go in alone, because I didn't really feel like getting into a punch fight with a building with miniguns on it. Just didn't seem like a wise decision. Because, that was, just didn't seem like a fun idea. So I bid the demons farewell. I basically just tell them, okay, just watch the area. And we have like walkie-talkies, so like, warn me if something murderous starts coming this way. Okay? And before they have a chance to respond, I just run in there. Because I don't want them like trying to stop me. Anyways. I start walking around, and it's a very beautiful inside. Like, the outside is a bit meh, mostly due to the whole, weaponry outside. But there was, like anything someone would have pride over. Metals, cows, a lot of things. Weaponry. Like, they were, like, very, like, good demonic weaponry. Like, they were made, like, by professionals. Like, there was, like, a sword in there. I didn't bring it with me, but I just, like, you could tell, like, this was made by someone very determined to make a very good sword. Anyways, I hear Pride's voice again.
Your first challenge shall be simple. Merely get across this room. If you can do that, we shall begin the second trial. My second favorite, personally. Good luck, my friend.
He goes, okay. So there was basically just a bunch of traps in the room. Spikes, arrows, all made of demonic material, so they can hurt me very easily if I'm not careful. There was also like a puzzle I had to do. There was like these 3 like spinning plates. There was like an invisible walls on them. There was like one entry, so I had to like keep track of that one entry. And there was no marking on it either, so I was like, I should be able to walk through this now. Nope. I tried dashing through the walls, but it did not work. It just gave me a headache. There was a secret treasure room hid in there for some reason. I found bullets, a forge, which I had a bunch of like demonic weaponry on me. I just kind of collect it passively from just like other demons, and I guess a smelting case for machine gun bullets, not machine gun, AK-47 and machine gun bullets. I didn't have a machine gun, but it's helpful, I guess. Up till now, I've been only using the AK just to, like, stun demons. But now I have, like, actual, like, bullets for it that can actually, like, kill demons. So, like, that's gonna be helpful. I can go much easier and have much more death behind me. So I make a bunch of bullets. I reload on shotgun, my pistol. You just make sure you have a bunch of bullets of everything. My angel knife is kind of running low on battery. Like, maybe Kaz could charge it somehow. Anyways, it's not important. Anyway, so I'm strapped up and I'm ready for the second trial. The second trial was just a room full of bones. It's very interesting. There was this giant skull in the center of it. There was something weird about it. It was like, I could like smell rotting flesh coming from it. It's like, what the frick? Is there flesh in that? I start walking closer, but then the head starts to shake. And it starts to float up into the air. Then 2 giant bone arms fly towards it. They all kind of connect to it. You can hear this horrible sound. Every time it moved, there's blood started pouring out the bottom of it. It had 2 glowing orb eye things. They weren't necessarily eyes, they were more orbs. And then bones just started flying around the arena, making an effective lock, to say the least, to keep me in. Boss fight time. Okay. So we're going to call this thing a Skeledemon because it's a demon made of skeleton bones. Its attacks were chucking bones at me, summoning bone things to charge at me. The bone things were very strange. They were like other demons, mostly skinless, that just like chucked themselves at me. I couldn't kill them, so I just had to like run away from them. It tried smacking me, trying to headbutt me, and my guns weren't exactly effective on it. But for some reason, someone left a bunch of wrecking balls in there. So, I came in like a wrecking ball. Please do not sue me for copyright. So I just had to smack it in the face with a wrecking ball, which revealed the flesh underneath it. So after a few smacks with a wrecking ball, I was able to shoot at the flesh, which stunned it, if I got enough shots off. So I tried grabbing one of those orb things, and I just incinerated it with my hand, which turned it into dust, basically. Ash. Then it got really mad, summoning 2 more hands to its disposal. Now it's crawling on all 4s. They would also disconnect them, so it would like spin around, just like made a very intense wind. So now it could like knock me around and just like reorientate where I'm at, because the fall damage didn't really do much to me. Like, it just more of annoyed me. I was able to get up and just start shooting again. But I had to be careful not to like land next to those weird bone demon things. Skinless bones, we'll call them. Because that makes sense. Anyways, I knock it down again. I attempt to grab its eye, but it gets up. I attempt to grab its other thing, but it gets up before I have a chance, and it starts making like a bone shield around that area. So I have to start smacking it with a wrecking ball again, and it started destroying them too. So I actually had I thought it was an IQ move here. When it got knocked down, I dashed into it, causing even more damage, which gave me off some shots. I knocked it down again, and I ran very quickly to grab the other eye, grabbed it, set it ablaze, and then poof, the fight was over. The bones fall back to normalcy. I stomp on them a few times just to be safe. The smell just goes away. It's no longer smelling like a dead animal in there. I walk out. Well, still a little beat up, a little bruised. But then I see him in the next room, Pride. And he looks like just a normal dude. Definitely taller. Definitely much more like, he's like, not necessarily bodybuilder, but he is quite buff. He's not something to be like tested. And he looks at me.
You completed the trials. Congratulations. I had a 3rd one prepared, but if you got past that beat, it would be a waste of your talents. The most prideful creature, humans. So why don't that be fair for me to take that form? Any questions you'd like to ask before we continue?
Yes, where's your key and or vial? Or both, preferably.
Still on that, I guess I overestimated your intelligence. There's so much more you can be doing. You could easily replace one of the sins you've killed in a matter of days. You could even become my right hand, my friend. So that's why I come to offer you a deal. Join us. We'll be powerful. The heavens won't be able to stand in our way by the time we're done.
No. Just no. No, you guys are psychopaths. I'm not joining some crazy cult filled with demons trying to conquer the heavens. You are killing innocent bystanders, innocent humans, innocent demons, and soon you'll start killing innocent angels.
Innocent angels, they've massacred us. Again and again, it was a genocide. It was never ending. Until our general put an end to it. He shoved the angels back into the heavens where they belonged. And put Lucifer in a cage where he belonged. No longer will we have to suffer from the angels' wrath. Thanks to him.
Okay, cool. I'll add the angels to my hit list. But the answer is still no. I'm not interested in joining your little satanic army. Any last words?
Yes. Enjoy the fall.
What? Then suddenly the fall just vanishes. Except where he's standing, of course. So I fall down a good 60 feet. Not 60 feet, 90 feet. It was a long fall, okay? I cracked into multiple walls, which only really hurt, honestly. It didn't, like, damage me. Like, it never, like, pierced the skin in any way. I lay to the bottom. I get up, and I just see a medieval dungeon, basically. With a bunch of bones, a bunch of skeletons, and I was like, yeah, I already know where this is going. I get up, and the skeletons get up. It's basically the bone version of every enemy I faced. Inferno Pyros, Super Pyros, Snake People, the Axe Guys, except they didn't have any of the actual demonic abilities. So, they were tankier, but they didn't have anything like special superpowers. So after me quickly dispatching all of them, I had to, like, find the little orb thing. Like, he didn't put it in obvious places like last time. Like, some were hidden in the ribs, the arm. I had to, like, really dismantle these things to find it. After a while, after I, like, stared at them long enough, Sloth's ability came into play, and I could start seeing where the orb was actually hidden. So that means the abilities can grow in power over time the more you try to use them. Which would make sense, because I use the dash ability a lot. It's only gotten, like, stronger. I've only been able to dash through bigger and tougher walls. So that's very interesting. So after a very long hour of fighting, there are a lot of them, to say the least, I found a elevator. And with a note on it, from Pride, this was originally gonna be your third trial, but now it shall be your grave. It's like, yeah, great. I push the button, I start rising up. I go, here we go. Yeah. And the elevator just stops. In a room not filled with bones, just like a few skeletons. I walk in, and the bones start to fly together, forming a very strange creature. It was like, all of the sins, like, most reasonable parts, like, it had a tail of lust, the legs of greed, the body of wrath, the mind of envy, and the arms of pride. Very interesting. And Sloth was nowhere to be seen in the mix. I guess because it's Sloth. Anyways, it picks up 2 axes just lying around. They were made of bones for some reason. I guess he's very much of a man of aesthetics. And it has multiple of those orb things, 2 in its eyes, some in between its ribs, 2 in its arms, legs, tail, just 1 in every body part. Or every bone. So I was like, oh god. So its attacks were very simple, actually. It would, like, grab its head, chuck it at me. Same with all the other body parts. Chuck its axe would fly back to it, which also had an orb in it. It would start spinning around, again, to make, like, a bit of, like, a twister to, like, suck me in. I had to keep shooting at it. There were no wrecking balls, so I had to rely purely on me charging into its face. And whenever I broke one of the arms, that body part just stopped working. So the fight, I guess, would say, got progressively easier. I took out the legs first, but then I just started crawling around, which was very interesting. Took out the arms, then it just started floating. Took out one of its axes, it just picked it up again. It couldn't like fly back like Thor's hammer anymore. So, you know, did that with both the axes. Went after the ribs, which took a bit because there was like 9 of them in there. And I had to like grab each one individually, set it ablaze, wait for my hand to heal, then rinse and repeat. Then it was left to the head. The head was very interesting. Apparently Pride put a lot of power into it, because once it was just a head, it started shooting a laser out of its mouth, which I had to like jump over. I had to like run up the wall using a dash to get over the laser, then dash it to its face, which gave me a headache every time I had to do it. I punched it back into a wall. I grabbed both orbs, yanked them both out, and just incinerated both hands, because I dropped my weapon. Just, ow! Then it stopped moving. I'm like, Jesus. I go up, pick up my weapon. I look around the room, make sure I'm not missing anything. But, you know, that thing was out for the count, to say the least. For somehow, there's another letter in there. It reads, should have known you would have gone past this trial. Very well, your last performance is a floor above. You've been a grand actor, to say the least. From Pride. P.S. Do not touch the dog. What dog? I never saw the dog. I don't know what he was talking about. But, okay. The elevator goes up another floor. I walk out to a stage. The lights turn on. I see a crowd of demons. A mixture of skinless, snakes, pyros. They're all I think they're all cuffed to the chair. They're too afraid. Some are too afraid to move. Some are physically, bound to the chair. He really wanted an audience, to say the least. Then I turn to see Pride, staying at the other end of the stage.
How you've been a grand performer, but the play must end here and now. You should have taken me up on the deal. But I suppose the best plays end in tragedy.
Yeah, the tragedy of your head on my pike. I didn't have a pike, but it was the only thing I could think of. Anyways, battle between Pride. This ain't gonna be an easy fight, to say the least. I've been, preparing for this. I still have plenty of ammunition. I haven't even pulled out the AK yet. So I was more or less prepared bullet-wise. I wasn't prepared for his abilities. He could teleport around, or just run really fast, but he couldn't teleport in a certain distance to me. He couldn't, teleport right into my face. He had to be, a certain distance. So that was very interesting. I made note of that. He summoned other demons. He just ran up and punched me. He had a very hard punch. He also had, a demon weaponry. He would just kind of switch between them. Honestly, one moment he felt like the axe, but then, the mace is so much nicer. But knives are so much more personal. I could hear him talking about this. It was very strange. Anyways, he also had this attack where he just summoned, a giant orb that just sucked away all my weapons. So just a bunch of them just stuck to a wall. I had to wait for it to wear out, grab my weaponry, and just start shooting at him. Best opportunities to shoot at him where he, tries to teleport around. You just have to, time it where he goes. You kind of, there was this little mist that would appear to kind of, let you predict where he goes. Shoot there, then it did pretty good damage, actually. He still had, I guess the right way, he still is, physical as a human. He couldn't take much, but it was just hard to shoot him. A few shotgun shells into the ribs did pretty good work on him. He hunches backwards, and he goes,
Impressive. No surprise here. But this ends here, one way or another. And, I quite like living.
Then suddenly he starts to create a giant orb, which sucks in all the weapons from all of the crowd. I was able to hold on to mine this time. I was like, oh no, nope, these are mine. Then he forms himself into a new body. A giant metal body. Made of demonic metal. So my bullets did nothing. My fire did nothing. Me charging into him did nothing. So I did what any reasonable person would do. Run! I was just running around and thinking of how could I damage this thing? But then I noticed it started to kind of wear down. The metal started to melt. So I thought, okay, this is a bad idea. I dash around him. I jump up. I reach my hand into the melting part. And I just set my hand ablaze. Which, I think it damaged the behemoth. It left him vulnerable. I could see his face. So I just started shooting him in the back. He couldn't, reform it or anything. So I just had to get behind him, start shooting at him. His second phase attacks included charging, throwing debris, all the usual attacks. It could also teleport as well. So, it started, destroying, everything. I had to, keep it away from the crowd. Because, unfortunately, I now care about the demons, so. Anyways, after a while of this, the behemoth just stops moving. It just falls to the ground. Pride just crawls out of it. He goes,
No,
This is not what it looks like. I am far, far from defeat. You can never wish to defeat me.
Portal. Then I just shoot him in the head. He's very much dead. I was like, okay, that's taken care of. Anyways, on his body, I found coordinates to his key and vial. It read, "You'll never find this note, so I'll just make it for the fun of it." I was like, yeah, totally never found the note. Anyways, I found like a secret room where he hid both his vial and his key. And I have this nagging feeling like he's still alive. Like, I come back to his body, he's dead. I was like, I just have this overwhelming feeling like this guy ain't dead. Then I see him crying in the corner with a new vessel. Just like,
Come on, Pride. Come on, think, Pride. Think. What else can you throw at him? Come on. You're not losing your edge, buddy. Just think.
I decided to just leave him because, I'd rather not get into any unnecessary fights. So I have this vial. I forgot to drink Envies, mostly because I'm scared to drink Envies, but I was like, okay, fine, I'll drink it in the presence of the demons to protect me. They're all kind of just watching me as I drink it. It's like, that one Envy's blood tastes pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't pass out, it just tasted horrible. And honestly, I didn't really notice much of a change, honestly. Like, I didn't notice some new ability. But then I didn't notice anything new yet. But then I look at one of the demons and I go, like, I can understand them biologically. I understand, like, what makes them tick, per se. I was like, well, this would have been helpful earlier. Doesn't matter. I'm not drinking Pride's blood yet because, I'm scared. What can I say? Envy and Pride can be best described as masochists and psychopaths. And, just straight up evil. Well, maybe not just straight up evil, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, I walked back to the place, and I have all the keys. I have all of them. All 7, which took me a while to collect, and I think to myself, how do I use these? Because I've seen Lucifer's cage. There's no keys on them. So, I don't know what else to do, so I can only go to the one person that I can ask, because the demons don't know. Kaz. Here we go. I walk into the room with Pride's key. It glowed up a nice gold. It was very bright, colorful, yellowish. It's a very nice looking key, to say the least. Better than all the others. Kaz turns to me, sees the key and the vial in my hands.
You killed Pride. How do you have this violent blood? My key's key and blood. I apologize, human. This is very much a new prediction, to say the least. Still, do not go anywhere near the cage. Okay?
No, I'm going near the cage. I know where it is. You can't stop me.
You don't know how to use the keys, do you?
Well, I wouldn't mind an instruction manual.
Okay. The reason I attacked you last time, because you didn't have the keys. You didn't even try to go near the cage. Now he very much will. If you go down that route, I will stop you.
Okay. I guess next time we meet, I better be ready for a fight.
You don't understand. You haven't fought an angel before. You've been fighting demons. I won't hold back either.
Then I better be ready. See you there.
Wait. At least wait until part 8. The finale.
What? Part 8? Why do you guys keep... Whatever. I'll start hanging there now. Anyways, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. If you didn't, then still hit that like button, It helps out. It helps me out. If you'd like to see some more, subscribe. If you don't want to see more, subscribe anyways. Do it. Do it to defeat the norm. It'll be funny. Hit the bell if you want notifications. If you don't, that's fine. I'm Nathan. I've been your host. This has been fun. Goodbye.